Back again with another tutorial, and today I'm going to be breaking down one of the most classic vintage t-shirts. It's a classic Tupac vintage tee from the 1990s. It's one of my favorite retro vintage designs from that era. Yeah, I'm just going to break down how they did it. Hopefully you guys can learn something along the way. If you're new to the channel, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, because we're going to be bringing a lot more informative content to help you be great. Not going to talk too much more. Let's go ahead and get into it. So we're going to start with the front, and we're going to work our way to the back. So I'm going to name this artboard front, just so I can know. I have a set of the images that were used, so let's go ahead and drag these in. First, I'm going to drag one of the background images in. I'm going to do a lot of the cropping in a minute here. So that's one of the images that was used on the front. This is another image that was used in the front. Just going to drop that in. And this is another image that was used on the front. So first things first with these, we're obviously going to want to get rid of the background on this main one. I'm going to use my quick selection tool. I'm going to draw a square around the image, and it's going to select the main interest of the image. Okay, so we have our image selected. It's not perfect, so what we're going to do is we're going to come to our quick selection tool right here, and we're going to make sure we have the plus checked right here. And plus means it's just going to add on to the selection that we currently have. So let's make sure to get everything that's around there. And once we get that, we're going to click on this layer mask button right here at the bottom here, and it's going to mask that off. Now in this image, as you can see right here, it's actually facing the other way, so we're going to flip that. I'm going to go to edit, transform, flip horizontal, and then we're going to actually control T, and we're going to rotate it to about so. Yeah, it's kind of at an angle. I'm just going to move it up here just for right now. Going to minimize that. Then we're going to select this background image right here. We're going to hit Control T, down to size a little bit. I'd say about here. We have our other image here, which needs to be scaled down a little bit. So right now I'm just going to go ahead and add text in. Okay, so yes, if I remember correctly, this text is called area rounded MT bold. So just going to type in all eyes on me, drag it, double click that. We're going to kind of remove the space a little bit, put it back down to 0, but we're going to make it a little bit larger. And we're going to come into our styles pack. So we're going to come into our pure 1990 styles pack. This is available in the description. If you click the link in the description, it'll take you to it on my website. I believe it's this one right here. So you just apply that, and then we're going to actually scale it down a little bit. So we're going to click on scale effects, right click on that, and we're going to reduce it to about there. Then we're going to highlight the text again, and we're going to right click, and we're going to go bold, and we're going to transform it just a little bit more like that. So we have that text. The next text we're going to do is the big 2 right here at the bottom. Now this text, I believe, is called typewriter, American typewriter. We're going to do American typewriter bold. We're just going to make the font size really big, like so. But we're also going, actually, let's make it a little bit smaller. But but we will stretch it height wise, like so. It's a little bit too tall. There we go. Then we're gonna add more text here at the bottom. I'm gonna make this one obviously smaller. Type in Shakur for the bottom. Now, if I remember correctly, this font is called Amelia. So we're gonna use this font. These fonts are also available in the link in the description if you need them for your designs. There's a lot of vintage style fonts that were used back in the 90s. A lot of stuff that's kind of, obscure. You're not gonna know exactly what you're looking for unless you know what you're looking for. But yeah, it's free. Just go ahead and download it in the description, install it to your font, so you'll be good to go. So just gonna leave it like that right now. Next, we're gonna use another font called, I think it's Merit. It's Merit font. Just gonna pop. Actually, make it bigger. Stretch it a little bit. Try to get right here. So we're gonna fix these heights, but actually not the width. So we're gonna shrink them down a little bit height wise. Like so. And we're gonna take this one. We're gonna make it a little bit wider. Gonna make it a little bit shorter. And if you want, to make this follow along a little bit easier, you can also go in the description and get access to my workspace, which is basically how I have my Photoshop set up. So all the windows would be exactly where mine are. So that'll probably make it just a little bit easier to follow along. Forgot to mention that earlier. Also free. So next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna apply some more styles from our pure 1990s textile pack. This tube, we're gonna apply this one right here. It's kind of like a grungy, dirty, broken rock type of textile, as you can see here. Next, we're going to apply this one for the POC. For this one, as you can kind of see, we have a little line right here, and we don't really want that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna come in on the POC, click on the FX button here, and it's gonna bring up our layer styles. We want to go to pattern overlay, and we want to click snap to origin, and it's gonna snap it to the original destination of the pattern, so it won't be out of place. And for the Shakur, we're going to select this kind of cotton candy looking one here, and that one is the exact one or very close to it right here. And yeah, so we're also going to add the text at the bottom. For this font, I think it's called Florent, Florent, and we're going to actually make this way smaller, of course. Gonna move it down to the bottom here. Add that in. So add the exclamation point. I'm gonna make it a little bit shorter. A little bit not as tall. I'll move it over here. Actually, one thing that you notice on this one, it has a little music note, so I'm just gonna drag that in. Click OK on that. Gonna go to blending options, right click on it, go to blending options, and then we're gonna add a color overlay just to get it to that white color, that to match the text. Then we're gonna hit Control T, transform it down, rotate it to like 45-degree angle, still make it smaller. Okay. Next. Do it like that. That's fine for now. We're gonna add the thug life text here in a minute. Next, we're gonna go to bring our main image here, bring it to behind the text, but in the forefront. Part of Tupac's head is like kind of chopped off. Just trying to get the aligning of the images correct. So we're gonna come to our mask here on this Tupac image. And we're gonna make a selection. I have my feather here 20. Then we're going to click select inverse, and I'm going to edit, fill this with the foreground color for me, which is black, or you can just go to black right here and click OK. Also make sure that you're on the layer mask, right? We're also going to do this for this image as well. I'm going to add a mask here, which will actually make it inverted if you still have the selection. But to quickly change that, just go to invert right here, and it's going to invert it. So it'll show back up here. So as you see, the edges are pretty much gone. Like it's kind of faded as well. All right, so the next step for this Tupac image here is we're going to go down to the bottom right here, and we're going to select selective color. Gonna go to create clipping mask. And then, okay, so I went ahead and loaded in some of my selective colors that are available. Link in the description. I'm actually using number 7 for my pack in this one, just to give it that kind of, you know, brownish feel. Also, what I will do is go here and add a levels. I'm gonna create a clipping mask on this one as well. I'm gonna kind of bring out the whites, but also bring it up the whites. Just trying to break out a little bit more of the darkness in it. That's cool right there. Next is this one, this image over here. So what I'm gonna do is add a black and white. I'm going to create clipping mask on that one. Okay, so we created our rectangle and we filled it with a color that fits, and then we're going to set it to overlay. Now, to get it onto the color of Pac right here, what we're going to do is come to our selective color tool, and we're going to take a black, brush. We're gonna do soft round. Let's make it about 400 pixels. Make sure you have caps lock off, and we're just gonna kind of go straight down, just like that. As you can see, it's kind of how it was. I'm actually gonna make it just a little bit bigger, honestly. Just gonna continue to go just to kind of trying to get that fade effect that we're looking for. There we go. And just to make it a little bit more, we're gonna make one more rectangle because I think we ran out of, actually, go right there. There we go. Filled it with the foreground, and there we go. We have the similar effect where it kind of overlays. So next we're gonna come in and actually you see the thug life going in a circle. I mean, going kind of like filling inside the text here. So now this is actually pretty tricky to do. It's easy to mess up, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab our pen tool, which is right here. Gonna zoom in for this one. If we look at it goes to about right here, to about right here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna select, gonna add a little bend, add a little bit more bend. Actually, let's undo that last one. You're gonna kind of try to get it in the middle. As much as possible. There we go. Also for this text, we're gonna come in and double click on this FX for the two because I see a little line right here. We're gonna do the same thing we did earlier. We're gonna snap to origin to get rid of that. Actually, we're gonna lock this layer just so we can't mess up the two. Actually, we're gonna just turn it off. Then we're gonna click in the middle of our path right here. Gonna make our text way smaller. And we're gonna control, and we're gonna grab this one of the points, and we're gonna spread it all the way around. Now we come back and look. It's kind of like some lightning going on down here, and it's kind of like fireworks or whatever. So next thing we're gonna do for this one is come in. So now I'm gonna drag my lightning asset in, which is basically just a lightning render I got from online. As you can see, it's just a picture of lightning. So we're gonna drag that underneath, right there. And I also did the same for this little fireworks render, which seems to be on this side right here. You can see it's kind of like fire, like fireworks or something going on there. And I just drag that in on that side. And then we're gonna add a color. Actually, we're gonna add a hue saturation. Create a clipping mask, colorize, turn that up, and then we're gonna change it to a reddish, right about there. Now you could have used any assets online. You could have just found any picture of any fireworks or any lightning down there, and it would have worked. Actually gonna come in with a soft round brush, and I'm kind of gonna go around here and get some of this away. Let's actually take a look at the bottom here. Yeah, it does go a little bit weird, so just tune that up just a little bit. And I'm also going to work on the bottom of this image. This is actually fireworks actually over just like that. This as well. And that's pretty much a simple rundown of this design. It's pretty close. Of course, the text is it's not perfect, but I think that's pretty close based on just, you know, the logistics of the design. Another thing you can do right here for this Tupac render is gonna come in, add a curves, clipping mask, of course, bring out some of the black in it like so. That way you can see more of the details similar to this one. And that's pretty much a quick breakdown of the front. Now I'm gonna go into the back of it, which looks like this. Have the "Me Against the World" text with the Earth and Pac, and "Please Stop the Violence" with some space in the background. This one is going to be pretty easy, so let's go ahead and tap in for this one. Boom, there we go. So again, it's just as simple as dragging in the assets that we've collected. Gonna be using this Earth. And from here, I'm gonna grab the text tool. And we look at the back of this one, it says "Me Against the World" in the Cooper font. So type that in quickly. And of course, looks like it has just a slight arc to it. Not too much of a strong one, but a slight one. And obviously not that strong. Maybe just about 12. Let's click OK. Gonna make it a little bit smaller. Stretch the height just a little bit. We're gonna go back into our Pure 1990s pack, and we're gonna apply this text style. I'm gonna right click on the FX, click Scale Effects. I'm gonna do about 78, that's fine. Then we're gonna double click again, come back in, pattern overlay, snap. That's fine. Gonna come here, make another layer under the Earth. Gonna go to our brushes tab. I'm gonna use some stars from my Skylines pack, again available in the description. Set that back. Kind of just add some really sporadic stars there. Again, come here to our feather. So select everything like that. And we're going to select inverse to get everything outside of it. Deselect. Actually, don't deselect. You're going to come here to the Earth. Fill this black. Make sure you got the mask highlighted. Next thing is Tupac image here. So I'm gonna go to my magnetic polygonal lasso tool. Make sure this one is selected with the empty square because this one will remove. I'm just gonna kind of create where his head would be in the dark. So I'm also gonna come back to our quick selection tool. Select this part, all of this down here. And we're gonna try to minus some of this out. Again, come in with this one. Let's switch over here. Add that back in. And we're gonna come here and switch to this one. Just a rough outline here. Doesn't have to be perfect. Actually gonna try to come back to this again. Got kind of messed up in this gap here. There we go. So pretty much have everything selected. Gonna come here, click the mask, boom, go. Move on to the next image. So I'm gonna turn that one off. As we can see, got a little chop off right here. So what I like to do is make sure you're on the layer. Click and kind of like go over where the rest of the head would be, like so. And I'm going to edit, fill. Actually, let's rasterize it real quick. Edit, fill, content aware fill. Boom. There we go. Then I'm going to let's try this object selection tool. See where it gets us. Kind of varies on how you use it. So it did miss a little. That's what happens kind of sometimes when you deal with dark renders. But nothing's unfixable. Let's actually escape that. I don't know if bro's head is that big. So just gonna come in, select that, add that in. Just come in, just go straight down. Add some of the neck back. And that's good enough just for now. Also gonna come here and we're gonna take our brush tool. So go back to the soft round. Let's do about this. And then we're gonna come here and we're gonna erase the bottom part of this earth. Let's get some extra on the side here. Come back and look at this again. This text needs to be a little bit taller. So we're gonna make it taller. And we're gonna bring back this render. We're gonna put it under this one. Like so. Then we're also gonna grab another tool right here, rectangle tool. Same approach. Also fill this with black. Make sure we have the mask tool selected just to get rid of the corners right here. I have to do it twice. I forgot I had it at about 100 feather, but it's okay. That'll do. Then we have this please stop the violence text at the bottom. Gonna make this a bit smaller, just for now. Make sure that's on top of everything. You can actually stretch this one out. Boom. So we're gonna actually, for these few words, we're gonna make the text back to 100 as far as height goes. Let's do like 130. Do 130 there as well. Gonna duplicate this layer. Boom. Then we're going to convert to a smart object, and then we're going to rasterize layer. So make sure you remove the feather, click your rectangle tool. I'm going to select the please, delete. I'm going to select the violence, and I'm going to delete that as well. So for the stop, we're going to go ahead and apply this text style that we made. And then for this one, we're going to apply this one. Now we're going to rasterize this one as well, since our text is done. I actually just remembered to grab these textiles that I made, so I'm going to be adding these back in the Pure 1990s textile pack. So if you did purchase this pack, if you go back on my website, you can go back in and download the updated version, and it'll have these 3 textiles that are not in the original version. Rasterize this one as well. Convert this one to a smart object first, then rasterize it. And then this way, we can get this blue kind of outline out of the way. There we go. So next, all we have left is to kind of do the coloring here. So for this one, we're going to add a black and white. We're going to create a clipping mask on this one. And we're basically going to duplicate it and drag it up here. Recreate clipping mask. So we have those. So next, we're going to add a selective color. So we're going to use 10 as a base. There you go. Kind of like that one. Then I'm going to duplicate it. And then we're going to drag it onto this one as well. Very click the mask. So if you look at this one, we can go in with our brush. You can kind of get rid of some of the yellow that appears on the bandana just by going over it with a black brush, like so. That way the bandana stands out a little more. Close. Just so it kind of hits his skin only. Suppose right here. Let's get this part of the bandana as well. And then we're going to come in with 8 levels on this one just because it needs a little bit of color correction. Bring out some more of the dark in it. All the while keep us original color to it. I think that looks okay. And next and finally is the color of the earth. So as you see in this one, it's just a lot of black and blue. So basically what we're going to do is pretty much do the same thing on this one. Add a black and white directly on the earth, create a clipping mask. Then we're going to go to our selective colors, create another clipping mask. And there we go. That's pretty close. Again, you can do a levels as well, just to, you know, get the colors just to your liking. But that's pretty much how it was made, guys. Let's actually go into here. This text is kind of throwing me off. Always scaling, snapping. Okay. There we go, guys. That's pretty much how that design came to be. Obviously, again, it's not perfect, but follow me, and yeah, peace.